to Natural and Thick. I'm your girl Francesca, and I'm back with another video. So what I'm going to be talking about today definitely veers completely away from what I normally talk about on this channel. If you have been with me since day one, then you know that I love talking about natural hair and I love talking about being thick. So I did want to touch on this subject so bad, so I decided I just gotta do it. What I'm going to be talking about today is Irv Gotti's BET show known as Tales. It was hot garbage, I'm sorry. It was just a hot mess. But it's made by Irv Gotti. It's called Tales, and it premiered on June 27th on BET. So if you have not seen Irv Gotti Lorenzo's show yet that's titled Tales, then let me just tell you what it's about, what the concept is. So the concept of Tales is that Irv Gotti Lorenzo wanted to take some hit rap songs and he wanted to turn them into a full theatrical movie or mini series, whatever you want to call it. So he was taking these hit rap songs, these iconic rap songs, and he was turning them into a film. And so that's what the premise is behind this show called Tales. Well, anyway, so let me just say this. First of all, I do commend Irv Gotti Lorenzo with this particular idea. I think the concept was actually really great. Its premiere episode was F the Police, or F the Police, which was inspired by NWA's song of the same title. So of course I'm already going into it knowing that this is definitely going to be about police brutality, and case in point, it was. So kudos to me for guessing that right off the break. So anyway, I am going to start this video off with talking about the pros. Before we even move any further, let me just say this. Click off this video if you want to watch this, whatever it is. If you want to watch Tales and you do not want me to ruin it for you because I got a big mouth, click off this video and then come back and then we can chit chat about it after you have seen it. Now that we got that out the way, let's jump into it. So like I stated before, I thought it was an awesome concept. The fact that Irv Gotti Lorenzo, he wanted to do a spin off of these iconic rap songs. First of all, the fact that you're going to tackle one of the most iconic rap songs, kudos to you, because that is a very challenging task, but it's really fitting considering everything that black people are going through in this day and age. The next thing I like about the concept is that like it was set in what seemed to be an alternate universe, because let me tell you, this is as alternative as it gets. So in this alternate universe, black people, African Americans, are the ones that are in control, and they're the ones being the oppressors. And lo and behold, it is white America who's being oppressed. That right there just, that blew my mind, because I was like, wow, this is really original, because now they're going to be able to see what it's like through our eyes. So I really was like, oh yes, you are doing the thing, because you are doing a totally different spin on this police brutality. Alright, so in the very beginning of the film, there is a white teenager who is walking from his home. He gets confronted by these big and buff black police officers, and so a little confrontation ensues. They like take him down to the ground. He hits his head, and he's asking them for help, and he's telling them like, I could be your son. And the police officer is like, no, you can't be my son because you're like some poor white trash. And it was just like, yup, that's the type of stuff that they would say to us. He gets up or whatever, and they're telling him to get back down. I don't understand why he did not get back down, but he didn't, and so they end up shooting him. So yep, pow pow pow, he's dead. But here's the kicker, police officers, you think you're doing this and nobody is seeing you. There's this other cute little white guy that's like hanging out at home, and he witnesses everything as it transpires. The investigators come to investigate this killing. He tells them that he wants to testify because he is he's not going to allow them to get away with this murder. After he says that he wants to testify in his trial, that's where everything starts to go downhill. First things first, this movie was entirely too long. Let me tell you, we watched it and it was with commercials. It was about 2 hours long. Like, really? I mean, maybe I had a different set of expectations coming into this film, but I honestly thought that it was going to be like a TV show. I thought that it was only going to be about 30 minutes, at the most 60 minutes. Like, we all know that BET needs to make their coins, so they're going to have these commercials, but it was just too long. It was too long. 2 hours. And I could see if it was a riveting 2 hours, but it definitely wasn't. It was the most lackluster, slow-paced film, TV show, like I said, whatever you want to call it. It was the most slow-paced show I have ever witnessed. Like, if it would have been cut down to maybe 30 to 60 minutes and they would have gotten rid of all of the filler, all of the fluff, it was like so many unnecessary scenes in this film. Like, it just wasn't cool. None of these characters I really cared that much about. I'm not heartless at all. I mean, there were some moments that I was like, dang, that's effed up. But it's just like, there wasn't a whole lot of character building in this film, TV show. I don't know why I keep calling it a film. It's just a long TV show. But anyway, so there was no character building in this show whatsoever. There was no, like, yes, I'm rooting for him. With something that's going to be that long, you have to take a moment to try to build up your characters. I mean, you want me to be invested in these characters, and I just simply wasn't. The one character that I felt a little bit of compassion for, just a little bit. I don't even remember his name, but it was the main character's brother, and he was like a little thugged out white boy, and you know, yeah, he was probably it. And even then, like I said, I was not invested enough to even remember the boy's name, so I don't remember nobody's name, to be honest with you, because it wasn't that interesting. Sorry. Like I said, they did not build up on anybody's characters, and it was very one-dimensional. Yes, they had some great actors like Clifton Powell. We all know that he can play a creepy old man. He can be the wicked old man. He can play whatever old man you want him to play. Like Clifton Powell, you got that, sir. But I'm sorry, but maybe it was just the script. It's just like it did not allow him to be as creepy or evil or as mean as we know him to be in films. Like, he just... This is what I absolutely hated about Tales, at least this first episode. So I understand, like I said, I applaud the concept of, you know, doing like this twisted reality or this alternate universe, or this parallel universe where the blacks are the oppressor and the whites are being oppressed. Like, I thought that was really clever. But when you did that, Irv Gotti Lorenzo, when you did that, Irv Gotti, the thing that I did not like about it is the fact that you gave these white characters the most stereotypical, disrespectful attire, mannerisms, hairstyles that you could think of. Like, it was just like flat out cultural appropriation, or I'm going to say cultural misappropriation, because definitely it missed the mark. All black people are not like that. I understand, I guess this is supposed to be a portrayal of what it's like in the black projects, but even in the black projects, it's just like everything is not like that. It's just like if the roles were reversed, who is to say that white people would dress and act like that? Like, how come you could not portray these white characters to be like how it is in for white Americans that are living below the poverty line? I just felt like you took all of the black characteristics and you made them white. you took a black character and you just put a white person in there, and you put the most stereotypical characteristics from the black community and dropped them onto white people. I feel like Irv Gotti, you kind of just fed into some stereotypes, and I feel like you reinforced what white people already think about black people. So yeah, I did not like that. The next thing that I did not like about this TV show is the fact that many of the characters, they just appear to be dumb as a box of rocks. I'm gonna give you an example. This is why I think they're dumb as a box of rocks. Okay, so you are supposed to be the star witness. So the main character, this white boy that witnessed the murder happen, you already know the racial issues that exist. You're set to be the star witness in a racially charged police brutality case. So why would you take it upon yourself to do something as ridiculous as sleeping with this black person who has made it be known that white people are less than? You gonna sleep with this black person's wife? Like, are you an idiot? Like, yes, you're dumb as a box of rocks. Like, you're dumb. And then on top of that, he decides that he's going to sleep with this woman at this man's house. And it's like, this man can come home at any time. You just dumb. You just dumb. You're dumb. And then on top of that, when he comes in the house, he sees his wife and the star witness, the white boy. He sees them going up the steps, and he immediately attacks this boy. But my thing is this: when y'all decided to walk up the steps, y'all didn't see him through that clear as day front door. Like, the front door has a glass window. You can clearly see through it. You did not think like, oh shoot, your husband's home. Like, let me hurry up and get up out of here. Like, you did not. And then plus he was arguing back and forth with the district attorney. So y'all couldn't hear him. Like, when y'all getting ready to go walk up the steps, y'all could not hear the district attorney and your husband arguing, and you decide that you're going to casually sashay up the steps. Like, no, that just wasn't believable. Like, all right, so anyway, long story short, the boy gets killed. That he's getting choked out by this police officer. I don't know how the police officers ended up there so quickly, but they did. So they start choking out the white boy. And so Boris Kojo, who plays the district attorney, sees that this boy is being choked out by the police. He does virtually nothing to try to stop them. And then on top of that, once they do stop choking this boy out, instead of him trying to do life-saving procedures, he just checks for a pulse and says, he's dead, and that's it. Like, I just feel like in a real life scenario, if you see somebody being choked out, you're going to try, especially when they're your star witness for your case, you're going to try to save them, and then like you're going to try to get them off of him, and then on top of that, you're going to at least try to do some CPR. Maybe I'm dumb. Like, I don't know. Help me out. Help me explain to me. I'm not in the medical profession, so maybe I just don't know. You didn't try to pump his chest. You ain't try to blow some breaths up into him. You just said, he's dead. Oh, well. It was just like, everybody in the movie was dumb. When they found out that the main character dies, the mom, when she reacts, it's just the most forced cry I've ever seen. I'm a big crybaby when it comes to movies that really like are gut wrenching. They like really tug at your heartstrings. I will immediately start crying. This movie did absolutely nothing for me. When I saw that mom cry, I did not cry. I did not shed a single tear. Her acting was atrocious. I'm sorry. It just did not resonate with me. I know this review might seem a little all over the place because I didn't know any of the characters' names, because like I said, this movie didn't resonate with me. It did not stick with me for long. That's why I'm having a hard time even trying to remember everything that took place, because it was just so awful. It was not memorable at all. So at the end of when everybody finds out that this star witness, he is killed by the police, the white people decide that they're going to protest and cause a riot. I had to give this first episode of Tales a rating. I would definitely give this movie like a 3 out of 10. My last and final thoughts is this, is that Irv Gotti Lorenzo, if you were trying to show the plight of blacks in America, you definitely missed the mark. Again, wonderful concept. I think it's awesome that you are trying to do a spin off of all of these great rap songs. And I also thought it was wonderful that you did like an alternate reality of police brutality. You did a different spin on it. It was definitely original. It was definitely clever. It was almost on some Twilight Zone-ish. However, execution was absolutely horrendous. I feel like it could have been better. That script definitely could have been better. You could have cut out a whole bunch of crap so that it would have stayed between 30 and 60 minutes, because honestly, you could have told that story in 30 to 60 minutes. It was really long and drawn out. And then also, I just felt like some of the ways that you interpreted these characters was very almost disrespectful. Whatever. I'm going to continue to watch this mini series, because I'm all about supporting black community or whatever. I was just disappointed. I expected a whole lot more. I don't know why I expected so much out of this film. I mean, I'm gonna just say kudos, because you did it. You did it and made it to TV, and you got some views off of it. So I mean, awesome. That's great. That's wonderful. You're gonna get a paycheck. That's wonderful. However, I think that it might take somebody else to be able to tell that story of police brutality in a more meaningful way that really tugs at your heartstrings. Because let me tell you, I did not shed not one tear, because I didn't care about anybody on the show. I didn't. The final thing that really sent me over the edge, like this is some total and utter BS, this is a hot mess, is this. Okay, so I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that at the very end, rolling super fast, like super fast, it appeared to be the names of people that were victims of police brutality. It had their first and last name, and then it had a year. Wonderful. That's great. You're trying to bring attention to all of these people that were victims of police brutality. The problem that I had with this, however, was that this was the fastest part of the show. Everything else was very slow paced. Everything was super slow paced. When it came down to what I thought was the most monumental part of this film, and that was actually the names of these victims, I feel like that moved at such a rapid pace, you could barely even read the names. You had to literally hit pause. If you had it recorded on your DVR, you would have had to hit pause to read those names, because there was no way you was going to catch it. You couldn't catch any of it. So I just felt like even the names of the people that was involved in the creation of this movie, those names went by super slow, and then when it came time for those victims, that moved super fast. And so to me, it almost made it seem like they were just a blip in his thinking. Like he thought of them as an afterthought. You should watch it. I mean, go ahead and support. If you agree with me, or even if you disagree with me, go ahead and drop your comments down below about what did you think of this premiere episode of Tales that premiered on BET. So yeah, if you agreed with what I said, give me a thumbs up. Just talking about this just made me super tired, so I'm just gonna end the video right here. All right, deuces.